Okay. Today is going to be a fun one. We are going to be talking about one of, or at least as of recently, one of my favorite movies to watch during October. So already this review is going to be a little biased. Bear with me. So if you guys are familiar with this channel, if you guys have watched some of my older videos, some of my older reviews, you guys know that I love to talk about Halloween movies this time of year. It's special. Well, back in 2019, before COVID hit, they released a movie called Haunt. And this was a movie that really looked interesting. And I am really bummed and upset that this movie did not come out in theaters. Because just like Hellfest, which I also really like, I would have seen this in theaters. This looks awesome. This looked awesome. This looked awesome. I can't speak correctly. I thought this movie, for some reason, came out during COVID, but I guess it came out in 2019, and I look back, I'm like, oh yeah, the movie came out in 2019, but I, for some reason, thought it came out in 2020, and that's why they pushed it, or that's why they put it on Shudder, but no, it's a Shudder movie. So yeah, I already said I like this movie. So, by the way, hope you guys don't mind my crazy hair. I always do this during my reviews. I just like doing it. Anywho, back to the movie, because reviews aren't scripted. Yeah, so Haunt is a group of friends on Halloween night. Geez, tell me if you've heard this one before. They go to a haunted house where spooky things happen. There might be a serial killer. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Except this time it's a group of serial killers, and for the first 40 minutes, you're kind of wondering, okay, is this place is this just a really extreme haunt, or is this just what's going on? Is this just an extreme haunt, or is some real shit's going on? And I really like the first 40 minutes of this movie because it's all set up. It's all set up for what's to come, and it does it so well. Something I've heard online is that some people really kind of had a problem with the slow pace, and that never bothers me with a movie. I've never been bothered by if a movie decides to take its time with its story and kind of establish its characters, which this film does fairly well. I really liked all of our characters, even if not every single one of them is extremely developed. I don't remember the names because I'm just bad with names in general, but at least the only characters we really get to know, the ones that are fleshed out, is our main character, or main star. Forget her name, but again, I'm bad with names. But the main girl, the main final girl, her character's fleshed out. She has a traumatic backstory with her dad, abusive father, in her home, her childhood home, and the kind of not boyfriend, but kind of the love interest. He's kind of socially awkward, but he's a nice guy. He's kind of hard, you kind of want to see them get together. And yeah, besides that, none of the other characters are really fleshed out, but their interactions really work well off each other. They really feel like a friend group. So that was something I really liked. And when shit starts hitting the fan, you're kind of like, oh shit, this is getting pretty dark. And this movie, I would compare it to Hellfest. And Dead Meat said it perfectly. If you guys watched Dead Meat, he did a kill count for Hellfest and Haunt. In his Haunt kill count, he said that Hellfest felt like a party. This movie feels kind of, I don't remember exactly what he said. It's dirty. It feels almost like a grindhouse movie. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I would definitely say that this film is darker than Hellfest. It feels more somber. It feels more there's an edge to it, even though the kills aren't really that graphic. I will say though, the kills do really happen suddenly. There is a scene where a guy gets his face ripped off with a hammer, but it's not graphic, let's say Terrifier, or even something like Jason. You just see a quick 1 second flash of the guy's face, and you're like, oh, that's brutal. Okay, well, that happened quick. That was very sudden. It's like you're watching and you're like, Oh, shit, that happened. Oh, okay, we're continuing. Huh. That's kind of how I describe it. I mean, that's probably a weak example. I really do this a lot in my reviews. I like to style my hair. What can I say? But yeah, no, the kills in this are pretty quick, but they're noteworthy. There's a hammer kill. There's a shotgun kill that was kind of interesting how that played out towards the end. There's a kill with a pitchfork that happens really quick, and that caught me off guard. So I was like, damn. And something I really liked about this movie compared to some other haunted house films is that this film really like nailed that like haunted house attraction, but like kind of, extreme haunt. Obviously, it's not an extreme haunt. It's just a place where these serial killers are killing people. But they really nailed the look and tone for it. Really just I love the little subtle details, like the way the interior looks. Safe to say the production design is great. The people who worked on the haunt, I think the production team worked for La La Land, and even the director said they wanted people who don't work on horror movies. They wanted something unconventional, like something like the way the director described it was, or the directors, because they're brothers, I think, yeah. And they said they wanted to make it look like the haunted house was just kind of thrown together last minute. Like they didn't really have time to finish. Like some of the walls are still like the paint isn't dried. Like some of the stuff looks kind of fake and hokey. Like there's a plastic skeleton that kind of jumps at one of the characters, which I don't remember his name, but I remember the costume he wore. He was like a human centipede, but now it's like, he's kind of Spider-Man because his other friends bailed on him. It was really funny. His character, you kind of think he's going to be this douchebag character, but he really turns out to be the comedic relief, and I liked this character. He was funny. A lot of the characters just really worked in this film, which is what made the film really engaging to watch. And the moments that are horror, they really work. There's some intense parts in this where you're having to go through a crawl space to get out of there's a part where a girl's locked in a coffin and spiders start dropping. There's a part where they have to put their hand through this little feel inside type hole thing, and it's like grapes for eyeballs. But I think at one point she sticks her hand in and it's like an actual razor blade and it cuts her. And the way it's revealed is really well done, and the slow reveal of the cut, it's really well done. A lot of the moments that are tension building really work for me. There's it's this dude. It's the ghost dude right here. When he shows up, the film really gets interesting because you're like, is this guy good, or is this guy a part of it, or is he trying to help them out? You don't really know until it's revealed midway towards the end of the film, and you're like, oh, okay, now I know. But it's really good guessing game. You're wondering what's gonna happen, and you're not really quite sure what the haunt has in store. And that's what I love about this film. Each room they go through, there's something new, and it's so elaborate and creative that I'm just like, I love this. I love it. I love it when movies have characters interacting off the environment, and then they have to escape said environment. I love movies that movies like The Shallows, where it's it's they're in a condensed space or area or whatever. They're trapped in one spot and they have to fight to get out. I love movies like that. I don't know why. I just do. And match that with this Halloween atmosphere tone and spook, oh, dude, chef's kiss. One thing I will say though, this might be a nitpick, but I wish the killers got a little more I wish there was more explanation as to why they do what they do. The only real explanation we get is that one of them might be a tattoo artist because, well, I won't spoil it, but if you haven't seen it, but one of them's a tattoo artist. That's about it. And they might just be psychos. As to why they do the things they do, they're just killers. there's no other reason. I don't know. But I will say this: they are really creepy, and they do a really good job at scaring the shit out of the characters. So honestly, this film is a lot of fun for me. I have some nitpicks, but I don't feel like mentioning them. They're not really noteworthy, and they're just for example, maybe they stayed there a little too long, and maybe they should have. Like, why are they so easily to hand over their phones? Like, little things like that you can nitpick. And someone said that they found the characters annoying and they made stupid decisions. I don't fucking know. You can't win with everybody. I didn't find the characters annoying or dumb, but someone, somehow will find a way to nitpick the shit out of it. So, what do I know? Am I going crazy? I think I'm going crazy because I'm going to give this movie an A. I'm going crazy. You're going crazy too.